Oh my God. What are Tottenham Hotspur doing? What are Tottenham Hotspur doing? They've announced their new interim manager. People were saying it could be Harry Redknapp, Big Sam. I mean, some of the names have been Ryan Mason. But I did not expect this guy to be Tottenham's interim. Obviously, looks like they want to appoint Roberto De Zerbi maybe in the summer, but you think he's there and available. Maybe that's an option. Or Mauricio Pochettino. That will probably be the play. Because Tottenham announced, or have announced, that their interim manager is Igor Tudor of Juventus Marseille fame. I think we could get relegated. I'm worried about this. I am very worried. I think Spurs played against his Marseille team a few years ago, and they weren't anything special. But yeah, we're reacting to this news. So as always, if you are new around here, get involved in the comments, in the live chat as well. What do you think of this appointment? Is it the right decision? What is going on at this football club? And as always, leave your likes, subscribe on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So if you can join me on this journey, that would be great. Hype the video as well. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And David Ornstein then. David Ornstein, the oracle that is Ornstein, has tweeted, Tottenham Hotspur reached verbal agreement with Igor Tudor to become interim head coach. 47-year-old Croatian set to join Tottenham on contract to end of season. No permanent option. Arrives with big club experience. Process led by Venkatesan and Lang. I don't know what to think about this. But to explain a bit more of the details, here's TalkSport's Alex Crook.
A couple of minutes ago, we were chatting to our European football expert, Andy Brassel, about whether Tottenham would go German with Terzic and Rosa been linked. But it has just been announced that Igor Tudor has agreed to become Spurs' interim head coach. He's the former coach of Juventus, played for Juventus, and of Marseille. He's someone who's often gone in as a bit of a red Adair to sort things out when there's been issues. So that will certainly be the role here. He's somebody who likes three at the back, and Tottenham have certainly looked better with three at the back recently. But they do have a lot of injuries, so he comes in at a difficult time with Arsenal as his first game in charge. And the players got 5 days off, so they'll be back on Monday. And I think they're going to have a tough week because he likes a high press and he's a very demanding manager.
At least he's got time to, implement his ideas.
He's got a week.
Fully. Yeah, well, that's better than Rossini had nothing. So a lot of them come in and they've got no time, and it's just play, train, play, rest. Whereas he's got this time. That make a difference, I think.
Yeah. So that is the word that Igor Tudor will be coming in as Tottenham's interim boss. I mean, I'm guessing with a view to doing a good job, doing a Michael Carrick.
Yeah,
and giving him a chance of a full-time.
It buys them a bit of time if Poch is available and they want to go down that route, or see who else is available. Glasner, there's a lot of good managers going to be available in the summer.
Let's have a chat with Ben Jacobs. Good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon.
So this seems to have. I mean, there was a story about half an hour ago that this could be in the offing, and here we are. It looks like it's done. He's agreed to do it. It was only at Juve. A few months ago, wasn't he? And when they sacked him.
Yeah, exactly. And this has moved fast because Tottenham's priority has been to get somebody in place by Monday. The players are off at the moment, but they need to get going ahead of a big North London derby that they're preparing for. So consideration number one, as we revealed on TalkSport, was do you find a permanent manager or an interim? The decision has been taken that there's nobody that may be able to come in now that is the right choice. Part of that is because Mauricio Pochettino wants to naturally focus on the World Cup and was never going to leave before. And Roberto De Zerbi, even though he became a free agent, did hold some conversations with Tottenham, but indicated that he wants to wait until the summer as well. So then Tottenham had to go and find an experienced interim. There was never a chance of Harry Redknapp, but the likes of John Haytinger or even Ledley King were considered, but weren't deemed to be as experienced as Igor Tudor. So in the last kind of 12 to 24 hours, Tottenham have moved decisively, and there's now a verbal agreement in principle in place for Igor Tudor to join between now and the end of the season, but he is not seen as a permanent solution, which means Mauricio Pochettino and Roberto De Zerbi at this early stage remain the two front runners to replace Thomas Frank permanently.
The problem with this is as well is that footballers, what it's like when it's only an interim bloke. I mean, I know they don't always react like that, But there is a danger that they think, well, he's not going to be here in the summer.
No. I mean,
the only thing is their own sense of self-preservation. None of those Tottenham players are going to.
Yeah, you don't want relegation on your CV. And who knows? And we've seen, whether he's got the job permanently or not. If he does a great job, the fans warm to him, he works well with the board, they play a style of football. Who knows? It could be his job.
Well, they could beat Arsenal 4-0.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair to say, though, that Pochettino, De Zerbi are who at this stage Tottenham are waiting for. And the logic of Igor Tudor is very clearly just between now and the end of the season. They want somebody that can hopefully take Tottenham far in the Champions League. As you say, and a bit like Michael Carrick at Manchester United, although he is, of course, an ex-Man United player. If results go according to plan, if Tottenham go and win the Champions League, then Igor Tudor will turn around and say, put me in the process. And that's a great option for Tottenham to have.
Yeah,
but the thinking is effectively they need to put the permanent solutions, Thomas Frank, on ice until the summer, when there'll be a ton of names available, including from the Premier League, the likes of Andoni Iraola, maybe Marco Silva as well, depending on what happens with both of their contract situations. And of course, Oliver Glasner as well. So there's so many coaches, Enzo Maresca, Xabi Alonso, Roberto De Zerbi, all are free agents at the moment, but they're waiting until the summer. And then you've got all the World Cup coaches. Julian Nagelsmann could leave Germany. We know Thomas Tuchel's extended, and so has Carlo Ancelotti, but Pochettino will almost certainly leave America as well. So being rash now, just to find a solution predominantly for the knockout stage of the Champions League, was not something that Tottenham wanted to do. And this is why they've gone down the route of a very safe pair of hands. Because let's not forget, compared to, say, Haitinger or King or Defoe, other than Redknapp, basically, who's got an incredible and very experienced CV, you've now got a manager that's been in charge of Juventus, Marseille and Galatasaray, and that's a good solution between now and the end of the season.
You do sense the hand of Don Fabio here, don't you, Fabio Paratici, the former director of football who left only last month to go off to Fiorentina, because this does feel like Fabio Paratici has said, hey, I know a guy, because of his Juve connections.
Yeah, I mean, people will make that connection. And of course, Paratici was inputting to the contingency plans before he left, because Tottenham started thinking about a departure of Thomas Frank in the latter part of the year. But Vinay Venkatesham, the CEO, and Johan Lang, the sporting director, are officially the people that have led this process. But I'm actually told that Peter Sharrington, who, unlike Daniel Levy, is only a non-executive director, and more importantly, Nick Bosher, who is not on the board but has the ear of all of the members of the Lewis family, those two, I'm told, played a very active role in this appointment as well. But you're absolutely right to make the Paratici connection, because when succession planning first began, Paratici was still a staff member at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
I feel it doesn't matter who the manager is at Tottenham unless the board back him with Premier League ready players and sort out the medical department.
That's for the long.
Cannot be going through every season with 12 injuries. We had this, and it is, you can sort it out. Chelsea have sorted it out, but it means resting players, not putting players in the red zone.
You need a deeper quality squad.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you look at a squad like Arsenal, which is deep and has a lot of quality, they're still picking up injuries.
Yeah.
You can never completely avoid.
No, you can't avoid it completely.
It's a quote that he gave a little while ago about his style, Ben. He said, I want courageous and intensive football, not only uniquely based on the defence. I want people to come to the stadium to be entertained and not disappointed. I think it's fair to say that the Spurs fans have been going to their stadium being very disappointed in recent months. So that should be some good news for the Spurs fans who are currently looking at Wikipedia and looking at his career.
Yeah, I think that's true. So Igor Tudor's style tends to be quite front foot and very aggressive, extremely direct as well. He likes playing through the centre. He's happy for his midfielders not to go as wide, particularly when they don't have the ball. And he encourages kind of explosivity, which is compact through the centre, win the ball back. And then you suddenly see overloads and then players shifting towards the flanks. So this is going to be a very organised Tottenham team. His preferred formations tend to be 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3. So we're likely to see a back three, but let's see what he determines based on who he inherits. And somewhat like Ange Postecoglou, not in demeanour or personality, but in philosophy, I should say, he is a bit gung-ho as well. So Tottenham fans should be treated to some entertaining football.
Yeah. He currently doesn't have three fit centre-backs, really. I mean, he has two. He has Dragusin and Van der Ven. And 3 games still banned for Romero. So I think a 3 would suit those three, actually, for what we have left.
Gray's quite versatile. He might be able to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Gray would have to step in, but it would certainly suit Porro, who's not a great defender, but is better going forward. So we shall see, Ben. Thanks for jumping in so quickly and telling us more. We'll catch up with you soon.
Interesting, isn't it?
Cheers, guys.
I'm just a bit stunned. I'm just a bit confused. I really don't know the thought process behind this. Obviously, there's a massive panic. There's 12, 11 games until the end of the season. Some big results needed from this football club. The aim is to keep them up. They didn't want to go old school. They went with someone with maybe a bit more European experience in the shape of Tudor. But it's just Henry VIII FC. I don't know. It's hard to judge because he could come in. I mean, what happens if he comes in, faces off against Arsenal and gets absolutely battered? What happens then? It's giving me Stellini vibes. I know Stellini maybe is a bit more experienced. Maybe Tudor's a bit more experienced than Stellini. Stellini was just an assistant. But it does give me that vibe. I'm getting that vibe from it. But obviously they see an opportunity. But again, we've got to remember with Igor Tudor's CV, he was hardly pulling up trees at Juventus. Like, I don't remember him really, being able to get most out of that squad, and that is like a squad that needs a big turnover and has got a lot of young potential. I mean, looking at his CV now, it's not really inspiring, is it? It's just not. It's not the idea of a manager. He's not really been at places that long. It's like a year mainly, and maybe some of them are like firefighting appointments, and he's just there to, basically sort out the mess at those clubs. But I just think it's an absolute disaster. It's an absolute disaster. What is the thinking behind this? Is there no other options to explore? Are they just hopeful that there are 3 worse teams than us? Because on form, I don't think there is. At the moment, Wolves look down. Burnley will probably be down, but I mean, the other night against Palace, they put up a fight. West Ham are in great form. Leeds are in all right form. Forest are in turmoil. I mean, Forest are appointing Vitor Pereira. I guess the hope is that Forest will fill that last relegation spot. I don't know. I just can't believe the actions of Vinay Venkatesan and Johan Langer. They are absolute disgraces. That's the problem. I said this on the most recent episode of Inside Spurs that went live today. Go and check that out afterwards. But it's shocking, isn't it? At this level, it's shocking. This football club is shocking. Everything we see in front of us is shocking. That's the next thing. Just sell the club up. I said it because I've been arguing about Pochettino. I might do a little video on Pochettino being like, I'm really unsure about Pochettino as well. And I've said that on Inside Spurs because is he the answer? Is he going to come in and fix this? I mean, I don't think... Does Tudor keep us up? I can't believe that's a question. If someone had said to me a year ago, Igor Tudor's going to be your manager keeping you in the Premier League, I would have been like, what? But I don't know. I really don't know. How can you even analyse this? How can you even assess this as a situation? It's just an absolute mess. Once again from the football club. Once again, isn't it? Like, when are they gonna learn? Like, they just think they're bigger than all this. They think that we can just, waltz around and I mean, yeah, he's got to play in the Champions League as well, isn't he? Might play against Juventus. I think that's a team we could end up facing. Oh, I think it's absolutely balmy. It's absolutely balmy that the football club think that this is the guy who is the be-all and end-all and the answer to really fix us. I just think it's insanity. It's absolute insanity. I don't think there's much more I can say about this, but let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of the appointment of Igor Tudor? Do you think it's the right thing? Who would you have done as interim? And who do you want as the main manager to come in the summer, depending on what happens to us? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you guys pretty soon. Bye.